Now, if you've always wanted a home theater, but you just don't have the space to support it, you're going to want to watch this video. Because if you have 5 inches to spare, I'm going to share with you a product that will give you a 80-inch screen. And if you have 13 inches to spare, how you can get 120 inches. And guess what? If you have 19 inches to spare, you're going to get a 150-inch screen. This is EBPMAN Tech Reviews, and today we're going to take a look at a new ultra short throw projector from Xiaomi. This is the 4K Laser Home Cinema Projector, and it's a 4K projector. Let's get right to it. Now in this video review, we're going to take a look at the Xiaomi Wemax 1 4K Ultra Short Throw Projector. We're going to take a look at all of the connection options that this projector has. We'll take a look at the remote, what you can expect if you order this projector, how the navigation works on the interface, and also we're going to do a video review, just looking at the quality. Now, we did review this year, the VAVA projector, and if you'd like to see a comparison between this projector and the VAVA, let me know in the comment area. So let's get right to it.
Make sure you hit the subscribe button and tap the little bell icon to get notified when new videos become available.
Now in the box, you're going to have a user guide, you're going to have a remote control, the projector, and you're going to have a power cord. Now you'll notice that I'm using an adapter on this power cord because this happens to be the Chinese version of the product, so I had to get an adapter so that it would work in the US. But that's the only thing that you would have to worry about if you do get the Chinese version. A US version or an international version should be coming out shortly if it's not already available. But I'll have the link to this product in the description area. And just to give you kind of a sense, this projector is going to run, I've seen it anywhere from $1,700 all the way up to $2,200 to $2,300. Now when you hear that price, at first you may say, wow, that's really expensive. But when you compare this to other 4K projectors, it's relatively inexpensive for the projector of this type in its class. So what we're going to do first is take a look at all of the component, I would say, connections that we have in the back. And then what we'll do is we'll go into our studio and we'll do a review of the UI as well as the image quality. Now, as we take a closer look at the projector, the first thing that you'll notice is that this is a very small footprint for a projector. It also is different design. Most projectors that you see if you go to a local big box retailer have a lens coming out in one of these two sides. But you notice this area here for this projector, the lens is in this area. And that's because this is an ultra short throw projector. When I opened up the video, we talked about how if you had 5 inches from the wall, you'd be able to get a 80-inch screen. If you have 13 inches from a wall, you could get a 120 inch. And if you have 19 inches, you could get up to a 150 inch screen. And again, that is of 4K quality. Now, if you are anywhere in between those, you know, the range could be 90, it could be 100, it could be 130, but the whole point is that as little as 5 inches from the wall, all the way up to 19 inches from the wall, you're going to be able to get a fantastic image. And that's the beauty of these projectors. I actually prefer the ultra short throws from the standard ones because you don't need that distance to be able to project. Literally, you can just put it on the floor, close to the wall, and you have a great image. Now, I will always recommend that you have a projection screen when using something like this. Now, as we take a look at this projector, this is the area that it's going to project from, and then it has these sensors here that, because this is a laser, and we're going to see all of the specs in a second, it protects your eyes because you don't want to look directly into the light. So if there's any motion that's detected getting close to this area, the screen will shut off. Now, as we flip this up, there's a couple of things that you'll notice. We have several ports here. So we have Ethernet connectivity, which, by the way, this also has Wi-Fi. You also have optical in. You then have a audio input right here, AV input, audio out. You have USB 3.0. You have 3 HDMI ports here, and then you have your power connector here. As we flip this over to its side, we'll flip it this way, you'll notice that you have some venting and you have some adjustment wheels here. We'll flip it over again. Here you have some speakers. And I kind of put this in the category of being like a cinema in the box. And I call it a cinema in the box because if you want to be able to have a great surround sound experience, you don't really have to spend the money in getting a very expensive audio system. This is a great solution. This supports Dolby as well. So this is going to give you a great experience if you want to have a very simple home theater and not investing in additional speakers that are going to surround the experience in your theater. So In my case, I do have a Sonos system connected to my projector, but this does really well just with the speakers that it has here in the front. Now, as we flip this over, we'll flip this over one more time, you'll notice here that you have, again, some more venting that's available. Now, on the very bottom, I'm going to flip this over. You have a couple things going on here. And I always get this question when we're looking at projectors of this type. Is this a mountable projector? Can you put this on a ceiling? And the answer is yes. And you'll notice here that it has this area here for ceiling mounting. So the image itself has the ability to flip any way you want. And you'll be able to see this when we do the image test. Now over here you do have these little dials that are going to allow you to raise and lower this if you want to be able to pitch this in any angle. Now as you pitch this, you're going to be able to adjust the keystone as well. So basically, if you're looking at an image like this, and let's say your wall's a little bit crooked, the image may look like it's warped, right? So what you could do is inside the software is adjust, compensate for any kind of shifts on the wall or your floor. So for example, if you are going to put this in a basement and it's going to be sitting on a flat surface, your floor, your basement is going to have a natural decline. And that's to make sure that if there's any water that goes into your basement, it's going to go towards the drain. So having these legs are going to help you adjust the image. And then if you have any imperfections in your wall, the software itself is also going to allow you to take an image that looks like this and then adjust it so that it looks like that, right? So that's what's going to go on with the legs and then also the software. So let's go ahead and take a look at now the specs in more detail. Now, for those of you who have never heard of the Wemax line or the Xiaomi, and you may be concerned about the brand, I just wanted to share with you that my experience, having had this projector for a year or more now, I haven't had any issues whatsoever. And I'm going to include the video, my original video, in the description area as well, so you can see how long I've had it. This brand is also making it into Walmart. And now be careful, the one in Walmart is a 1080p version. So what we're looking at is a 4K version. So let's take a look at some of the features here. So what you're looking at is a 4K, native 4K, 4K picture, 150 screen size. And you notice the distance that you have in this illustration. It's an ultra short throw. It uses something that's called ALPD 3.0. So if you've ever been to one of those high definition theaters where things look really crispy, where let's say the blacks are really black, the oranges are really orange, reds are really red, things just really pop, like an IMAX, they're using ALDP or ALPD technology as well. So this is a laser-based image, which is going to give you fantastic image quality, and it also gives you a very long bulb life or laser life, and we're going to see that in a second. High fidelity speakers, intelligent cooling, and then it has, again, this brightness. It's a 3000 to 1 native contrast, right? As we take a look at some of the things that are going on here, let's scroll down a bit. So you can see what they're advertising. So you have 3000 to 1 native contrast, 4K image quality, which we're going to see, 150, and you can see again the settings here. Literally, you just put it into place, you plug it in, it's Wi-Fi based, and you're going to be able to get a fantastic image. It's really simple. So let's scroll up. And here are the dimensions that we were talking about earlier. So you can see here that you have 14 centimeters, which is going to be 5 inches. You're going to get 80, 24 centimeters, 34 centimeters, and all the way up to 49 centimeters. So as you look at your distance, you're going to be able to get a different size screen, which is pretty cool. Now, from a lumens perspective, you have 5,000 lumens of brightness or 1,500 Ansi lumens of brightness. Now, this projector, you can actually see it in a lit room, so it is bright enough for that. But if you really want to enjoy it, where the blacks stay deep and the colors stay very vivid, you would want to get an anti-reflective panel. There's I think it's called an ALR, anti-light reflective panel, and then it's a screen that just rejects light from all sources except the one that you're projecting from. We hope to get one of those on the channel here for review as well. So you have a great sound experience. So you can see right here all of the speakers that it has and how it's going to give you that dual high fidelity experience. It does support Dolby audio, right? And it's HD audio. So it's going to really do a really nice job when it comes to the audio playback. You have also, and this is what I really love about this, 25,000 hours of watch time. That's incredible. That means this is you're by the time you want to switch this, this will have paid itself off, when you think about all the viewing time you're going to get. And the remote, as you can see right here, is pretty straightforward. This is a remote that is very common. The style that you see here is very similar to an Amazon TV. You have your volume control, home, back, menu. This is your toggle here. It's voice-based as well, and then you have the power button, and it's Bluetooth, so you don't have to worry about pointing it anywhere. Now, as we go down here, you have all the ports that we were speaking of. So you can see all of the connectivity that you have, the HDMIs, the USB, the audio, and optical, and that works really nicely. And I think let's look at some of the specs. We have some specs here that we can take a look at for those of you who want some more detail. Here we go. So here are the specific specs, and for those of you who are really interested in the model number I have, this is the model number that I have right here, and then you could see the native resolution is 4K. Again, it supports 4K, 5,000 lumens, the contrast ratio. Again, the image size anywhere from 80 to 150 inches. You're going to see, all the details about the laser, the fact that it's Bluetooth, which, by the way, you can connect Bluetooth devices to this so that you can do Bluetooth streaming for audio, or you can do direct connect. So when I connect my Sonos system, I actually direct connect to it. You have, again, the lamp type, that ALPD, right? And again, the lamp life that we were talking about. And then you do have the ability, because it has USB ports, to connect and actually run videos and pictures directly from the stick. So you'll see we have the speakers. You can see the noise ratio, that it's less than 32 dB, and then all of this additional detail. So let's switch to our theater, and let's take a look at the interface, and we'll take a look at all the other features and the image quality. All right, so now we've moved into our media testing center, and what you see here is that it has a great image. And not only is the image quality absolutely amazing, but what you also have is all of your ports, HDMI ports, are labeled. So you notice how I have PlayStation, Shield, and my third one has nothing connected to it. So I really like the fact that I can see the device that I have connected here by name. And I haven't really seen that by many devices of this type before. So that's pretty cool. The other thing that you'll notice that despite me changing the language to English, there's still a lot that's still in Chinese. So I typically ignore that, and that's why I have the PlayStation or the Shield. I run everything from it. So I turn this on and I go immediately into these devices, because all of this content is, pretty irrelevant to me. And even though some of the stuff here looks pretty cool, again, it's in Chinese, so it doesn't do me any good. In the apps area, you'll find that there are apps there as well, but once again, they're not in my local language. So if you want to check things out there, you could, but I don't bother with that. So as we move into the settings area, what you'll find is, again, very basic settings that are in English, but there's still some things that aren't. And as you look at Bluetooth, which is where my focus is, you do have the ability to connect devices to this. So if you do want to have some Bluetooth surround sound features or speakers, you'll be able to do that. And you can see how it sees paired devices as well as other devices that are available throughout my home for testing. Now, we'll continue to move down in this area. I'm going to look at the display settings. And there's a lot of things that you can do, and this is where we're going to see how you can mount it and you can change things. So we're going to change one of the settings so you can see how it can get a little bit brighter. We'll go back to our normal mode, the movie mode, which is what I prefer. There are also then the ability, just like a TV, for you to increase the brightness, contrast, saturation. Any of these things that you change that are outside of the presets are going to become a custom setting that is going to fall into the user category, as you can see here. You do also then have that keystone correction that you can see here for tuning and fine-tuning. And what you also then have is, in this area, the ability to modify the projector mode. So this is for mounting. So watch, I'm going to go through each one of these settings. This is the mirror. This is the flip. And then this is, again, if it's, again, mounted on a ceiling. So it really gives you a lot of different options when it comes to how you want to mount the projector. So cool areas there. Now you do have Dolby, and you can see that I have my Dolby settings here, and then I also can specify what my input is going to be and also how I want to enhance my audio. Now taking a look at the video quality, so this is a trailer and this is in 4K. Look at how crisp and clean this is. Look again how the blacks, how the colors, how the highlights, everything is pretty solid. And really, there's no complaints here when it comes to how realistic and bright the colors are. We'll go ahead and take a look at another trailer just to give you a sense of the video quality. Again, look at it, this one here. Look at how much detail there is in the cap. Look at in the armor. Everything looks really nice and sharp. No real feeling of delay. And again, for having the only speakers, using the speakers that were on board, it did a fantastic job when it came to audio reproduction. So really can't complain. Blacks are black, reds are red, oranges are orange, greens are vivid. The overall performance is great. Absolutely love this projector. So that concludes our review of the Xiaomi Wemax 1 4K ultra short throw projector. Let me know what you thought of the video quality, of the interface and the experience, and if you'd consider one of these projectors. And again, if you'd like me to do a comparison between this projector and the VAVA projector, I'd be happy to do it. Let me know in the comment area below.